Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be going over what to expect at student flight for the Air Force. Before I do that, I just wanted to say a few words. I'm sorry for the lack of videos lately. Last weekend was my first drill as a DSG. So DSG is drill status guardsman. Sorry, I had a brain fart. But so that was my first time, so it was a lot of in processing and just kind of doing my job. So I was just kind of busy, so I didn't really get to filming last weekend. And then the weekend before that was the 4th of July, which, by the way, I hope everyone had a wonderful 4th. Mine was really nice. I hung out with my family, so I just didn't get to film that date either. But I'm back. I'm gonna hopefully be releasing a video every Sunday again. This is not the best setup, but it'll work for now. A lot of my stuff, we're packing up. We're getting ready to move here in a few months. So we're packing everything away. But hopefully when we get to our new apartment, I'll be able to have my desk and everything set up, so it'll be much prettier than my brown wall and my window. But back to the video, student flight, what to expect. So my first student flight was it was in March of 2019. I was in student flight for about a year before I left for basic. But my first student flight drill, I was really nervous because I didn't know what to expect. I just got an email that told me to have my hair done upright, and that I need to wear jeans, and I need to look perfect. And I was like, what? It just gave me a room number. I didn't even know where I was supposed to go. But anyways, I searched and searched on YouTube and online, and I could not find anything about what to expect for student flight. So I decided to make a little video about my experience and kind of what I went through, in the hopes that it'll somehow help somebody who might be nervous about their first drill. But so go ahead and start off what they expect you to look like whenever you get there. They don't expect you to look like your hair cut perfect and everything yet, because obviously you haven't learned about the AFIs and the different regulations and stuff like that yet, but you'll learn all that in BMT. So for females, they want you to at least have, if your hair is long, they want it to be up in a bun, and they want you to make sure that you have like no flyaways, like you can't have any hair like hanging out or anything like that. Like they want you to look professional still. And then for males, they just want you to keep your hair kind of short, it doesn't have to be bald or anything like that, but they definitely don't want you having long beach hair or anything like that. Also for males, at least for my student flight, they did not let males have any facial hair at all. In the Air Force, you are allowed to have mustaches that are within a certain length, but males were not allowed to have that, period. So don't come in with a beard and a mustache, just shave it all off. If you're curious, you can ask about it then. But as far as what to wear, so you want to wear like jeans. They'll want you to wear a uniform. So on my first day, we had PT in the morning on Saturdays. So we would go in our PT clothes, and then we would change out of that later. I've heard other states do it differently, where they have PT on Sunday mornings or Saturday evenings or whatever. But whatever they do, it doesn't matter. But so the uniform they most likely will want you to wear is a pair of nice jeans. They can be skinny jeans if you like, but they just can't have any rips or holes or any kind of bedazzling or anything on them like that. And the shirts, you'll get a shirt from them. Mine was all red. I don't know if they're all the same. Mine was all red. It had a little patch up at the top that said I can't actually remember what it said, but it did have a little patch at the top, and that was our uniform that we would wear every drill weekend. So some people do ask me, what is student flight? Like, what is its purpose? And so in active duty, they have what's called the DEP program, DEP program, and you can actually, it's an app, you can download it on your phone, and it shows you, like, there's a packing list for BMT, there's what to expect, there's a little checklist that you can check things off for before you leave. But yeah, so it's just like that, except it's for guard and reservists. And so you go in 1 weekend a month for drill, and you just go, you learn about customs and courtesies, you learn about BMT, you meet new people so that you can kind of have relationships whenever you get back from BMT, so you'll have somebody to talk to, a number to call, stuff like that. So for my first drill, they had me get a military ID. So for that, so what a military ID is, it's just your picture, and it says like your branch, so it says Air Force, and it'll say Airman at the bottom, and so that's what you'll use to get on base. You'll just scan that at the gate, and they'll let you on. But to get that, you'll need 2 forms of ID. So that can be like a driver's license, a birth certificate, social security card, state ID, passport, that would work too. And there may be other forms of ID that they'll take, I'm not quite sure. But so you'll also be learning about basic and what to expect there. So they do have BIT members, and BIT members, they're break-in training. So they just went to basic and they come back, they're back in student flight until they go to tech training, because they can't be released to their unit yet. So they are in student flight with you, and they can tell you all about BMT, and they can walk you through what they do, and they'll probably be the ones that teach you the facing movements and stuff like that. But you'll also be learning like stuff like the Airman's Creed. You'll be learning how to do PT the correct way, because there is wrong ways of doing push-ups and sit-ups. But they'll do their best at trying to help you learn how to run with the correct form, how to do push-ups with the correct form and sit-ups with the correct form. And they just have a lot of, depending on who your supervisor is, but they should have a lot of information and a lot of kind of tips and tricks on how you can get better at those things. Next, they teach you about customs and courtesies. So like what to do if you were in the presence of an officer. They teach you how to salute. They teach you like the ranks and the grades, and they kind of like show you the symbols so you'll know. My student flight instructor did have us memorize that kind of stuff, so that it was just easier for us when we got to basic. And it really was kind of that we only had 1 test in basic, and he just pointed at the signs. He just pointed at the ranks, and we just like gave him the answer. Like he would point at the 1 star, and you just have to say that that's a brigadier general, stuff like that. But that was really the only time I needed to know ranks, but you probably need to know it more often depending on your MTI. Let's see, what else did we learn? So they did teach us a little bit more about what we need to do to prepare to leave for basic. So there are a few things that you have to check off before you can even leave, which your security clearance is 1, your equip. Make sure that you get that done like as soon as possible, because that's what's keeping you in student flight for the most part. That and tech training dates. Because they like to do this thing, it's called pipelining, where you go straight from BMT to tech school. Sometimes it doesn't always happen, and you'll have to become a BIT member, which means you just go back into student flight until you get tech training dates. But your security clearance, there's a bunch of questions on there. Depending on your job, you may need a top secret clearance, security clearance. I didn't, just for personnel, I just needed a security clearance. But I know top secrets can take quite a bit of time, so it's just better just get it done like as soon as possible. But there's a lot of questions on like, it's kind of like applying for a job. They want to know like where you've lived in the past 10 years or so, what jobs you've had, where you went to school, who your parents are. They want to know like people who knew you at your address, stuff like that. Another thing about getting ready to leave PT, making sure that you're staying in shape, because the PT and BMT, I did see people struggle, and it can be pretty hard if you're not prepared. So the PT that they do, it's not really difficult. Run days, it's a 30-minute run, 30-minute jog, self-paced jog. And they prefer you to run that the whole time. I mean, you can walk for just like a minute or so, but if you do walk, they're probably going to yell at you. But the strength days are kind of like a HIIT workout. You do it like a HIIT workout for 45 minutes, and that can be pretty difficult for some people. So just making sure that you're staying in shape, going to the gym on your own, not just doing the PT test that they run for you for drill weekends. When you do a mock PT test, making sure that you are actually trying your hardest, because they will keep your scores and see if you are improving or not. And if you're not improving, they do have, like they will help you out and make sure that they're not going to kick you out, but they will make sure that you are getting done what you need to get done. Next, we did a lot of in-processing, so you have to sign off on a lot of things. Finance, making sure that your pay packet is approved and all that, or not approved, but making sure that it's finished. If you're getting BAH, which is housing allowance, so if you have a lease or if you're living with your parents and you pay them, or if you're renting somehow, some way, paying something to live, then you can turn that into finance, and they will pay you BAH while you're at basic, which is just a little bit extra money, but a little bit goes a long way. So next, arrows. So arrows is where you sign off to get paid. So a lot of people didn't get paid for their enlistment day. Whenever you come, you say the oath, all that stuff. So you have to go in, piggyback with somebody, which means that they have their CAC plugged in at the same time that you do, and they go in, they help you sign off on your orders so that you can get paid for those days. And then in the NPS, making sure that you have your SG Live filled out, which is basically a pay packet for if anything were to happen to you, life insurance pretty much. Making sure you have your VRED filled out, your Form 93, and what's the other one? Form 4, those kind of things. Those forms are all for like your death gratuity, beneficiaries, stuff like that. So when you do a mock PT test, sorry, I feel like I'm kind of all over the place, but I have my little notebook. I took down notes because I kind of forgot what my student flight was like. But mock PT. So you'll do just like a regular PT test, 1 mile, 1.5 mile run, 1 minute sit up, 1 minute push ups, and they'll like go over all the correct forms and all that with you. And then, so for my student flight, we were going Saturday and Sunday. And then Saturdays when we would be with our student flight, that's when we would do the PT and all that stuff. And then Sundays when we would go with our unit and kind of learn what we would be doing, kind of see what our job is, and to meet new people, meet your commander, meet your supervisor, stuff like that. So, but before I left, a few months before I left for BMT, they did shorten it down to 1 day, just Saturday of drill is when student flight is. So if you're in Missouri, I don't know if it's for all units, or for all wings, but for the 131st bomb wing, it is just one day a month, just Saturdays. You no longer get to go hang out with your unit anymore, which is kind of sad. That was a good way to interact and build relationships for when you get back, but that's okay. But anyways, that's all I have for student flight. I think my next video, I'm gonna do a personnelist video, since that's my job. I've been on my MEST orders for going on 3 weeks now. I've been learning how to do my job. My boyfriend, I'll probably make him do the video with me. But he's also a personnelist in the same office as me. So I'll probably make him do the video with me, and then we can go through and talk about that and what to expect if that is your job. But if you guys have any questions, make sure to leave them down below. If you guys have any video ideas, go ahead and leave those down below also. If you guys have any questions, let me know. All right, I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend. I love you guys.